Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is July 22nd, 2020. I was about to say 2023 for some reason, but I was thinking about the 23rd. But it is, in fact, July 22nd, right? 2021. And it's a Thursday, so it's happy hour. Today, I'm going to be drinking. I know this is like not really a recovery drink, but I'm going to be drinking this for the recovery drink today because tomorrow, well, I'm trying to kind of sugar up a little bit for tomorrow. And so today I'm going to have the Univet Elite Drink Mix. This is the Camille Heron flavor. It is a orange twist. I've had this a lot. This is frequently what's in my hydration bladder, either this one or there's like a red one. I forget the flavor the red one is, but the red one has caffeine. This one does not. But it's got 45 grams of sugars, 289 milligrams of salt, a lot of chloride, some magnesium, some potassium. It's also got beta-butane, beta-alanine, and sodium bicarb. So lots of stuff in here. I generally enjoy it, like I said, in the pack during an activity. But I'm going to have some here today because also I don't have a ton of recovery drinks left or like hydration drinks rather than like energy drinks or sport drinks left here at Grandma's house. So this is what I got for today. Normally you're supposed to mix it with 20 to 27 ounces of fluid. This is not that, so I'm not going to pour the whole thing in here. I'll pour most of it, and then I'll top up with some more water and finish the rest of it later. So as this is mixing up, I always forget to bring like something to stir, but as this is mixing and getting into the water, let's say hi to everyone listening on the podcast. Hope you guys are having a good run today. It is super hot here in Iowa right now. It's hot. It's a little bit hazy from some forest fires in Canada, hundreds of miles away. Maybe, I don't think 1,000 miles away, but hundreds of miles away, and maybe 1,000 miles away. But it's also very humid. So hopefully when you're out there running and listening to this podcast, it's not too hot for you guys. And everyone that's watching this on YouTube after the fact, since it is Thursday and happy hour, hopefully you are enjoying something that is either rejuvenating, that will help you recover, or will help you recover from the day. It might be more interesting than that. Everyone else who's here in the chat, hopefully you guys have something refreshing to drink. And let's see who's here. We got Frank Luhulier says, not traveling today? At any rate, good luck tomorrow. No, you know what? I decided I'm just going to go to the meet from here. And then once I found out what my event time is, I realized I could fairly easily make the drive over in the morning. The only downside is, like, if I had gone there today, since it's a multi-day meet, it started yesterday, I think. Or maybe like a lot of registration and stuff happened, but today was like the first day of events. Then I could kind of get a better feel for like the pace of things and like where to check in and all that other stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to get there, figure it all out, and warm up and stretch and do some hurdle, hopefully find a way to do some hurdle drills. So, you know, there's going to be a lot that kind of has to happen all at once. But, you know, that's more about nerves than it is about having enough time to prepare. But yeah, well, my wife and I will travel over tomorrow. But thank you. I'm getting very excited. All right. Vincent Benares is here, says, hello, co-fam. And Martha's here. She is marking her attendance. And Jonathan Ward is also here, says, hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Mitchell, G.E. Brown, Andrew Bostic, Rob Shooter, giving a little peace sign in emoji. I love it. Jeb C says, hello, everyone. And Martha wants to know, anyone ever heard of an electrolyte drink called Element Recharge? Received an offer for a free sample pack. I've been hearing about it a lot. I want to say it's Rich Roll that I've been hearing about it from. Am I wrong on that? I don't know. I've seen a lot of ads on Instagram for it too. And surprisingly, I haven't bought any yet because you guys know how I am with Instagram ads. Like if it's in my Instagram ads, I'll probably end up buying it. But I haven't bought that one yet. But I have seen it around. I do think it's legit. I think it's like a good, like a company that's for real. So not just like some of these other ones that are like targeted at gamers. Like I'm not sure what is in those things, you know. So those make me a little nervous, especially with like the colors and the flavors that they have. But Element, I think, is like for athletes. All right. Terry Furlong said, hey, hello, bailed out of the watch review and evening, folks. And he's got tea. All right. Nice. Yeah, the watch review for the Element Rival dropped today. That one finally got done. I had what is Remy here? It was one of those days where it got like 3/4 of the way through on the render, and it took a long time because it's like a 20 something minute video, way too long. But it got 2/3 of the way there, and then the render failed. So then I had to start over and do it again. So that was annoying. So it took a little bit longer to get up than I was hoping, but it's up there now. And yeah, it's one of those where I don't expect most people to get through the whole thing, unless you're like really like about to buy this watch. You're probably gonna not watch the whole thing just because it is so long. But with a GPS watch, people want to see like the GPS tracings, like comparisons and stuff. So that's what usually takes a long time to kind of go through that. And it says, hello, Kapuzi and everybody. Pip says hi from the Whiteness Bothy. We are fat biking on the beach. That sounds awesome. Hopefully the dog is having a great time out there in the water. Kyle Patton says, yo, what's going on? And also says, where'd it go? I think my PT will let me run tomorrow morning. So pumped. All right. I will drink to that, Kyle. Good luck. I think I really should have brought a spoon up here. I'm trying to think of, is there anything up here that I could. All right, I'm gonna use this. This computer is sitting on my daughter's play kitchen, and there's a play pretend spoon. So I'm just gonna, I don't know how clean this is, but I'm gonna use this because I do need, it's like all the powder is stuck at the bottom. I'm just drinking straight water right now. So I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, it's very thick. It's like sandy at the bottom right now. Normally when I put this in a hydration bladder, I just put in the powder and then I put in the water and then I don't bother mixing it at all. Because I figure as I'm running, that'll jostle things enough. And that's usually fine, so I never have that problem. All right. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm getting some of that orange twist. Okay, let me scroll down. I think I'm really far behind on some of the chat with you guys, so I want to make sure I'm talking about what you guys are talking about. All right, Jeff C says, today's the day. I finally did a sub 25K, and thank you, Kofuzi, for all the content. Well, congratulations, Jeff C. That's amazing. It is a tough barrier to cross. Wonderful news. Great job. And I really got it. Martha says we got to get that cowbell. I do got to get that cowbell. I got to get another sound. I got to figure out another way to do sound. Yeah, but congratulations, Jeffsy. Stevie76 says, my life is slowly rendering. That's funny. Yeah, a little bit at a time, little bit by little bit. All right, Alex Gonzalez is drinking an ice cold glass of lactose-free milk. Nice. That's nice. I've been seeing a lot of those commercials about people are saying like the lactose-free milk, isn't not milk. I mean, I think that's what the commercial is, because I think the perception, and I had that perception too, that stuff like Lactaid is not really milk, but it's milk, but with the lactose taken out. But yeah, that's what I think of when I think of lactose-free milk. But it sounds pretty good. Nice. All right. Yeah, Frank says when it comes to the water bladder, the tube is at the bottom anyway. Yeah, it pulls from the bottom. So like I'll get I guess if it's not well mixed, I'll just get all of the powder at once. But that wouldn't be that bad. And it's never really been a problem because usually it's at least 20 minutes of running before I will hit the water bottle. So that's plenty of time to get that thing shaken around to get it mixed. And all right. Bryce Blankenfield said he's been rocking iced Americanos all day. The grind doesn't stop. That sounds pretty good. I could go for one of those right now. I think I might make a coffee and put a bunch of ice in it and then maybe some milk to make it nice and creamy. Sounds good. Brian Johnson says, hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day. What's going on, Brian? Good to see you. And Spence Ohms with the wave emoji. It's good to see you, too. All right. Teddy Jordan's here. Says, howdy. What's going on, Teddy? Good to see you again. All right. All right. What's going on with this over here? Sean Marshall says, hey, all. Just listening today as I get some repair jobs on my workbench. Nice. Well, hopefully it's a productive afternoon. And let's see. Shannon says, hi, Co and Co. Co, I'm just giddy for your track meet tomorrow, more so than for your ultra or any of the other things you've done in the last 16 months. Nervous? I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous that I'm gonna like kind of get yelled at, kind of is one of those things. Like I'm nervous, like I have to declare. So like one is I still haven't picked up my bib, but I think I can pick up the bib tomorrow. So I have to pick up the bib, but before I do that, by like tonight, I have to declare, or I can declare online tonight, or I could declare in person up to 60 minutes before the event. So like I've signed up for the event. I paid to be in the event. I've been cleared to run the event because you have to have like your proof of age and USATF membership. And so I've done all that. And then I have to declare, which is kind of like, you know, you're for serious going to run this race. And then like, you know, I'm a little bit nervous about, it's not like, you know, a running, like a regular road race where it's like, there's a countdown clock timer, you know, and like, you know exactly how much time you have before you guys start getting in the corrals and stuff. You know, I'm nervous that like I'm going to be somewhere trying to find some shade to like get out of the heat. And I won't hear like when they call like last call for men's masters steeple, you know? So that's like my biggest concern. And then I'll just be like sitting around and all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, there's my event. Yeah. So that's like my big concern, but that was always a concern I had even in high school when I was doing track meets regularly. So like, that's always been a concern of mine, is that I'm just not going to hear and know where I'm supposed to be. And then I'm gonna have to like argue to get my way in. So that's that. The other thing is like, I'm like not quite sure how it's going to work with like, you know, at some point I'll have regular running shoes on to do my warm up. I don't think I'll do much of a warm up, not a very long warm up anyway, as far as running beforehand, because it's going to be so hot. A little bit of a warm up and then a lot of stretching and some strides. But like the thing that I'm worried about is like, all right, so like, where am I going to put my stuff? Will I be able to run over to my wife to give her my stuff? When can I want to know like, when's the last moment that I'll be able to like film stuff with the GoPro? So like, you know, those are like my main concerns. Other than that, you know, I just think that once it goes off, I think it's just going to fly by and I'm going to be like, oh, there was so much stuff I was supposed to focus on during this race and I focused on none of it because I was just in the moment. So I think that's how it's going to go tomorrow, but it'll be a fun little adventure. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I am nervous, but mostly just super, super excited. All right. As I was rambling, you guys got a lot of interesting stuff in the chat going. All right. Bryce Brankenfield said, I haven't been around in a bit because I've been busy, but is your steeple tomorrow? God, I miss running steeple. Yeah, it is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. It's scheduled to go off at 11:30. So, you know, in 24 hours, I'll be done with it. But that reminds me, while we're talking about it, tomorrow there won't be a live stream because I'll be at the track meet probably still. So no live stream tomorrow. So this will be the last live stream for this week, and then we'll get back at it on Monday. All right. Steve76 says, in terms of declaring stuff, I've got to declare burritos. Well, I haven't eaten at any taco trucks. The last taco truck I ate was at the Crater Trail 50K. So that's the last taco truck I ate at. And I don't think I've had any. Well, I've had some seafood. Last week I had catfish from the local restaurant in town, the Downtown Lounge. I think that's the only meat I've eaten. So nothing that would, you know, cause a nandrolone spike. So if they find it, you know, it's definitely a false positive. But you know, I am concerned. I'm like, was I supposed to fill something out? Because like, you know, with the other, like the pro athlete, I'm not that I'm a pro, but they did say for this track meet that, you know, you are like agreeing to subject yourself to random drug testing. I'm guessing that they'll probably only like test the winners, but like, you know, you're agreeing to it just by competing. And, you know, I've seen like other like kind of declarations that other athletes make, and you see like that, like so many of them are on asthma inhalers and on other medications that are not permissible in competition, except that they have therapeutic use exemptions. So I'm like, was I supposed to fill something out? I don't know. I mean, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I kind of hope that if they're like, we gotta randomly drug test some people. I really hope that I get picked. I'll be like, someone please pick me, because then it'll be super interesting if something pops up on it too. Because I mean, as far as I know, I'm not taking any performance enhancing drugs, but I do recognize that some of these things are set at very, very low levels. And with some of the things that we're eating and taking in, I could see the possibility that certain substances might appear. So I really hope that I get drug tested. Not that there's anything interesting in it, but yeah. All right, Kurt Owen says, my Phoenix 6 Pro just died on me. Won't sync, and I have to take it back for warranty replacement. This means once I get the new Phoenix 6, the 7 will come out a month later. The 7 will come out soon. Yeah, I don't know. I still have yet to test a Garmin Phoenix series. So maybe when the 7 comes out, I'll pick up one of those. And I keep saying that. But I realize that I don't love testing the GPS watches. They're hard. It takes a lot of work. And filming them, the B-roll is hard to do as well, because I could film myself while running in it, but like you can't read what I see because it's all like bouncing around and stuff. And so like it makes it hard to do the B-roll for a watch. And I'm all about B-roll. So, and then the videos always end up being super long. And I still feel like I forgot to talk about half of the stuff I wanted to talk about. So it takes me usually some encouragement to make a watch video. But that being said, we'll talk about tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video, I did take these 2 watches out again, the Element Rival and the Polar Vantage V2 swimming. I mentioned it a little bit in today's video that swimming-wise, the Polar has been really weird. And so I'm going to talk just about my experience with swimming. Not that it's been a ton, but with both of these watches and kind of how that has been going for me. So that'll be tomorrow's video. All right, Adam Fierce says, great panel discussion on super shoes with Brian Metzler, longtime running writer, most recent some book Kixology. Saucony's head of energy. I don't know what the ANGRG. Elite runner, a Cairo, a PT. Key takeaways over a few posts. Oh, cool. I haven't seen that. Frank says, amazing that a year ago there was a super shoe shortage. We still have them all stored up like a closet full of toilet paper. Yeah, well, I mean, there weren't races for people to run in them for, so like I think that's another reason why a lot of people have like a lot of super shoes stocked up. I wonder if they are noticing like a change in demand for super shoes, because one, like all the super shoes that people bought for 2020 maybe got used a little bit, but not as much as they would have if they were regular marathons. But then again, I think after a while, people started doing some virtual races. And then once races started opening up in 2021, I feel like people were like, yeah, I'm splurging on this hobby because it stunk when I couldn't do any of the stuff that I wanted to. So like the shoes that I always thought were too expensive to get, I'm going to get this year. So I wonder what the numbers actually look like. Stevie is teasing me about not being able to hear being called for my race, and he says the masters will say, did you hear that? What? I don't know why I think that's so funny. Yeah, I'm curious to see like what my contemporaries will be like, because it's going to be a masters race of other people. I think the youngest people in my heat are going to be in their 30s, and the oldest will be 49. I think it goes 30 to 49. I'm not the oldest age group. I'm like close to the oldest age group in my age group. Or maybe is it 54? I'm not sure. But, like I remember, I've seen like the news always is like, and a new world record was set for the 100 meters in the 80-year-old age group, and you see that footage and it's like, oh, okay. Is that what this meet's going to be like? Or is it just going to be like, oh, look, this is like the same kind of group of people that are at the road races that I go to? I'm not sure what to kind of expect about that. Ooh, Brian Johnson says the new UA Velocity dropped on the Under Armour sites this week. All knit upper versus the warp on the Velocity Wind. Ooh, I'll take a look at that. Interesting. Spencer says, LOL. Oh, shoot, there's my event. Tranquil Kofuzi says, hair waving in the wind while calmly sitting under the lone shade tree. Yeah, that's so funny. You know what, though? My wife will be so mad if I miss my event because I wasn't paying attention enough. She would be furious at me. I mean, I'd be mad at myself too. Shannon says, for tomorrow, I should fuel with the nasty leather power bars that we used back in the high school track days. Oh, that would take it back, wouldn't it? Should I do everything like I used to do it back in high school? I'm trying to remember what my other like kind of meet day superstitions were. I know I ate power bars. I'm not sure if I ate them like they were expensive back then, so I don't know if I ate them before every meet. I'm trying to think what else I would have had. I think peanut butter and jelly was pretty common. So I don't know. I don't know what else there was. I'm trying to think. I'll have to think about it. All right. Sean says, thanks for the long run shoe recommendations a bit ago, Kofuzi. Love the endorphin speed, but had some toe pain. Ended up with the Nimbus Lite 2, and it's working out. Long runs are enjoyable again. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you have got that sorted. Sorry that there was some toe pain in the endorphin speed. The Nimbus Lite 2 is a shoe that interests me. But like that's one of the shoes that like the reviews come out like 2 months before the shoe does. Anytime that happens, it always really throws me off. And so like I didn't get the shoe early, and then I kind of forgot about it by the time the shoe came out. So I ended up never trying that one. I might have to take another look. Andrew Bostic, what's going on, says, thoughts on racing and training in the Nike Zoom X Invincible? I think it's a great trainer. I wouldn't want to race in it because it's kind of like it's bouncy in a not racing kind of way. It just is a little bit off. It feels like. I feel like the Invincible is a shoe that wants a very specific foot strike and a very specific cadence. And that's for me at the higher end of my easy. And anything other than that, it just feels a little bit out of rhythm. A little bit. New Vetra says, I hopefully get the go-ahead to start running again from the doctor next Wednesday. And the new parent company, my employer, apparently has an annual fitness stipend that you can use on running shoes. That's a cool bonus. I like that. I hope more companies do that kind of thing. That sounds nice. A fitness stipend? That's a good way to approach things. I'm gonna have to buy these expensive shoes, otherwise a fitness stipend goes to waste. All right, let me scroll down some more because again, I think I'm really far behind you guys. Sorry about that. All right, Bryce says his meet day superstition was left spike lace different color than the right and left sock turned inside out unless racing steeple. No socks in the steeple. Should I go? I don't think I can go sockless in the steeple tomorrow because I haven't practiced that way at all. I'm nervous about it. Maybe I should have practiced sockless for the steeple tomorrow. That reminds me, I'm gonna have to do laundry today. I think the socks that I want to wear are dirty right now. But that's interesting. Different color laces. I mean, I went sockless in my spikes all throughout high school, but now I just feel like I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can handle that. John Ader loved the power bars in high school. It was it mixed berry or a wild berry? I think I only ate like a chocolate peanut butter one. Everything I ate growing up was like chocolate peanut butter. So yeah. Albert Alone said, I had some Korean cheesy ramen cup noodle post run last night. So delicious. I could eat like 5 of those. That does sound delicious. It's a good way to replenish your sodium because they're going to be salty. But that does sound tasty. And Kyle Patton thinks that Des was on Power Bar. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Terry Furlong said cheese sandwiches. He had cheese sandwich like the day of the meet. That's interesting. And Jeff Elliott said orange slices at all over high school running stuff. That makes sense. I could see that. Frank's has the bananas. I don't like bananas though. But, I could see why lots of people like bananas, but I don't like the bananas. And let's see. Ed says, Kofuzi gonna destroy his competition like he destroyed those kids on the Disney cruise, right? I didn't destroy anyone in that race. And like the guy that came in second was like about my age too. So like we were pretty similar. But I don't think so, because a lot of people, I would say half of the people that are signed up, and I could see who signed up and what age group there are affiliated with some sort of track club, which I think from like a master's track and field perspective makes a lot of sense, especially if you're involved in the field events at all, or like the hurdling events. And steeple is kind of a weird kind of a hurdle type of event. So like otherwise it's hard to have access to kind of train properly for it unless you're affiliated with a track club. But they also have a lot of their goal times. I don't know if they're putting goal times or prior PBs or what, but I'm shooting for somewhere in between 12 and 12:30. That puts me at the behind most of the people that have submitted a time. Some people have not submitted times, and some people are unattached, like myself. So I don't know what's gonna. I feel like I'm probably gonna be somewhere in the middle of the pack. I don't know what that's gonna end up with in my age group, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I think what's going to be terrifying is that first hurdle or obstacle that we go, barrier. They're called barriers. First barrier that we go through when I'm with like a pack of people, because by then the race will not have strung out. I think after like maybe the first 800, I think that the race will really spread out. But at least for the first lap, everyone's going to be bunched up. And so like I'm really nervous about like how much space do I really need to cover that barrier, and how much space do other people need? So that has me really nervous. Like I'm like, what if there's like a mid-air like collision of people? Like we're going over the barrier and then bump, like that has me a little bit nervous. But I think that's also gonna be pretty thrilling too. So we'll see how it goes. And then I think also what I'm anticipating is as we get to that first one, I'll hear everyone and their breathing, and it'll be normal, like running, breathing rhythm. And then as we get to the barrier, there'll be all sorts of stutter stepping happening. So like that I think that's going to really throw me off from like an auditory sensory perspective. So it'll be interesting to see, but I don't think I'm going to destroy the competition. All right. Did we get this one already? Kyle Patton says that Power Bar still sponsors athletes. Does it really? Does it still exist? I thought Gatorade bought Power Bar. Is that am I wrong on that? So like if you're a Power Bar athlete, are you not a Gatorade athlete? I'm not sure how that works. But I didn't know that they still like actually made Power Bars. I don't know. Kyle says at the first barrier, just mosh him out of the way, just throw elbows. Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Kyle says he's seen some serious bros starting track. I mean, yeah, because I've seen, a lot of those races in the build up to like the US track trials, some of them got pretty intense. And at the track trials, things got feisty. But like, those are, elite level athletes trying to make Olympic teams and stuff. Like, these are all like my age contemporaries. They're my age contemporaries, I guess is a redundant phrase, but they're my contemporaries. So like, we're all just out there, so like, is it going to get aggressive? I guess it could be. Some people are strangely competitive. I'm not that way. So yeah. New Betra says that I thought Power Bar is Nestle's. Is it? Oh, I didn't know that. And Kyle says Des is a current Power Bar athlete. So she's still sponsored by Power Bar? I've never seen her. The only product I've ever seen Des Linden with is Brooks and her coffee and whiskey. Like anything else, I don't think I've ever seen before. Maybe I just haven't noticed it, but yeah. Noah B says, "Hey Co, I bought the Croc slides because of your review. Thanks. Just curious, does the Apple Watch ever come out for you anymore? Are you curious what Apple may do next? Thanks." Yeah, when I'm not testing a watch, my right hand usually has an Apple Watch on it when I'm running because I don't like to carry my phone. That way I can still have streaming music, podcasts, or audible.com audiobooks. As far as I know, the only watch that Audible works on is the Apple Watch. So that's like one reason why I just won't ever get rid of it. And it still works. The battery life's not great, but it still works. And so I run with it regularly in the summertime. In the winter, when like I have more stuff and I could more easily fit a phone places, then I'll just run with the phone. And then the battery life is miserable on the Apple Watch in the winter. It just dies really fast because of the cold. But in the summer, I run with the Apple Watch a lot. And I'm glad that you like the Croc slides. It's one of the few pairs of shoes that I brought here in Iowa. I wear them every day. They're getting a lot of use. And as far as what Apple's going to do next, I'm not that interested in what Apple's going to do next until they make a round watch or a shape that's different than the one that they have now. I just don't like that shape. I don't know what it is about it, but it's really off-putting to me. And so until they change the shape, I'm not that interested. Or until they make like we made it super heavy so that the battery lasts a long time. Like right now, I think they say that you can get like 2 days out of it. I think that if you're exercising a lot and using GPS tracking and stuff like that, and it's hard to get more than a day out of it. I mean, I haven't used any of the recent versions. I've only had the one Apple Watch Series 5, I think 4. It might be 4. So like until like they're willing to make like a heavy version that has just a giant battery in it, I probably won't. That's more important to me than the shape, but the shape also is very important. I just don't like the square. So yeah. Dev Runner's here. What's going on, Paul? Says, "Hey all, sorry I'm late. Pesky business meetings. Oh, they always get in the way, don't they?" And Nubetra says, according to Wikipedia, PowerBar is part of Premier Nutrition Company LLC, and they're in the food processing industry. Interesting. It's funny how that works out. And Thomas Villa says, "I used PowerBars once to stop a robbery." I think we're gonna need a little bit more detail on that one, Thomas. Oh man. I think I am said the Nova Blast 2 just launched in India. Woohoo! Awesome. That's cool. I hope they sell well over there. I mean, just because I just love that shoe. It's such a good one. All right, Terry says, why does Garmin support Amazon Music but not Audible? Anyone know? I don't know. I don't know if it's an Audible thing that they only want it to be, but like I don't think that there's any way to get Audible on a Wear OS device like a Google smartwatch. I don't think that you get it on like any of the Samsung watches. Although, am I wrong that the Samsung watches used to be on like Tizen? Now they're back onto Wear. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't pay too much attention to the non-GPS running watch space, but like, yeah, I don't know why Audible's not. It seems to be very intentional, whatever it is, to not be on those other platforms. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's the way it seems to be. Ed says, it would be hilarious if Kafusi leaves his selfie stick at home to respect all the other racers and then discovers that all the other runners have brought their selfie sticks and cameras for the race. Could you imagine that? I'd be so mad. You know what I would do, though, if I got to the race and now I'm thinking maybe I should bring the stick and just put it in my bag just in case. I would run over to my wife and be like, hurry up, give me my GoPro. I need the GoPro. I would just go run back over to like to the stands where she'll be sitting. And yeah, that's what I would do. But that would be crazy. Yeah, but this will be my first race without a GoPro in years. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We're going to be relying on my wife to capture footage of it. So she's nervous and kind of annoyed about it. But she volunteered herself to go. So I think she's doesn't want to mess up, and she knows how like, not that it's like super important to me, but like, she knows that I value having the video footage of something. So, but I told her like, even if the footage is really bad, it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. Don't worry, because I'll be filming all other stuff all throughout the day. So, well, I don't know what the video is going to be like. Normally, I do like a race day video and then a race recap, but I think doing a race day video of a 3,000 meter event will be super strange. So like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Kyle Patton said, "Co, what are your thoughts on fasted versus non-fasted running?" I don't generally have like a practice on it. I haven't, but here's what I've been doing this summer. Previously, I would tend to forget to eat before most of my runs. And so I would have maybe some coffee and then I would go for my run. So it would end up being a fasted run in the mornings. And then the only time I would generally change that is if it was going to be a long run or a workout. Then I would try to eat something, at some point beforehand with the coffee. So I would have that on board and then also bring gels and stuff along. These days, I'm trying to stay a little bit more on top of my sugars for more of my running. So these days, I'm trying to make sure I have something. I've eaten at least something, whether it's like a little granola bar. Lately, it's been a handful of grandma's cookies before I go for a run, just to have something in the system. And then I've also been trying to really make sure I hydrate better and hydrate with calories and sugars to stay on top of things. And I feel like that's been like the new way. And also during workouts, kind of the same thing, but even more so, paying more attention to it because I'm going to be putting more demand on the body. And I feel like that's been better for me. I feel better during the runs. And it's been more enjoyable. It's kind of like annoying, but to have to think about it all the time, but I think the runs have been better. So I don't think, from the science perspective, I don't think that the benefits that people say you'll get from fasted running are necessarily there. Maybe, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. I think a dietitian would be a better person to ask about that. Brian says, giving the update on the Samsung Watch OS, says Samsung was Tizen moving into Android going forward as of this year. Okay, so I thought I heard that. Awesome. Miles 62 Running Channel says, I have Garmin Phoenix 6X. It is good for any ultra. I am 26, 28 hours in 100s, and it still has 30 to 40% battery after the race. Really? That's amazing. That is epic. What is the watch that Ryan Clayton is testing right now? The Enduro? That's supposed to have super crazy battery life like that too, but I didn't know the Phoenix 6X had that already. That's super impressive. Yeah, Martha says, I can't imagine how anyone does fasted runs unless they have very low metabolism. I'd be starving to distraction in no time. Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is that you're trying to trigger other, like fat burning as an energy source rather than sugar burning. And so if you're doing it with a low heart rate training, then, that I feel like those two things that would have to kind of go hand in hand. So when people say fasted running, I think you have to say fasted running in a fat burning level of activity. So like, I guess what I'm saying is fasted running and trying to do a workout makes very little sense. It's just kind of like, it's like training under fueled, and I just don't think that's that great. So, I mean, that's what I think. All right. Vincent one knows, Co, how many miles do you run per week on average? I'd say on average, it's between, when I'm just running, it's like right around 50 to 60 miles a week. But lately, because I've been training for the shorter event, the steeple, and I've been doing a lot of swimming and cycling, not that much cycling, but swimming, that number's gone down. I think I've been in the 40s. I think I had like 60, high 60s though that week I went to Baltimore because I was running a lot that weekend. But you know, so it varies, but I would say probably like 50 to 60. Maybe 55 is probably a good number. And Kyle is saying, I'm debating about the faster running because work starts at 7. In order to eat, poop, warm up, run, come back, shower, I'm going to have to get up super early. Yeah, I think though the thing to think about, Kyle, is that like, some people, and maybe this is the situation for you, but like for me, I don't have to wait like 30 minutes before some people like make sure you eat your oatmeal 30 minutes before your run, all this stuff. I don't need that, I guess. And I would say like, eating something that's like a piece of just toast, I think would be enough to kind of help yourself in the morning. So like that it's not a fasted run. I don't think fasted runs are necessarily terrible for you. Unless you're doing it before a workout, then I feel like then you're underfueled. But I don't know that it gives people the benefits that they think it does. Like from like a ketogenic type of perspective. So that's the thing. But I would say like, something light that your stomach will tolerate, like a piece of fruit, like a banana, half a banana, something like that. I think would be enough to kind of make sure you have a little something in you before you head out for the run. And Kurt says the Koros Vertex is supposed to have better battery than the Phoenix. Is it really? See, I feel like battery like that for me, since I'm not doing those 100-mile races, like, all that's like after a certain point, I don't need that much battery, So like on this watch, the Element Rival, when they're like, it has like 24 hours of GPS tracking, I'm like, that's great. I don't need that much. I need like, 10 to 12 is probably good. But, I do think that those types of races are getting more popular and more people are doing them. And it is becoming a very relevant thing. That being said, so as I was doing a lot of research for Western states and I was watching as many like basically trail ultra videos that I could find anywhere in like the West Coast, I ended up, watching or rewatching a lot of ginger runner race videos. And what's amazing is not that long ago, it seems like it was really common for at some point in an ultra distance trail race that people would run with their watch and the charger and a little battery pack with them from like one aid station to another to top themselves off. So like that wasn't that long ago. So I do think that some of these, 100-mile race duration battery life things, I think it's a relatively new thing. I don't know. It's not like something that I paid attention to, but I'm guessing it was something pretty new. Jason Dahl says, I can't even fast on non-running days. I get hangry. Yeah, I'm not so good when I'm hungry either. So I'm constantly eating. So yeah. My cow says, what would it take to get the Kafuzi Non-Elite Track Club to be your team instead of unattached? That's pretty funny. I think that it would have to be like a register. You have to like register as a team. I don't know if there's additional fees that are required, or there needs to be like a certain number of people that are entered from it. I'm really not sure how to get like a team name next to it, but I mean, it would be not. I don't ever want people when I'm new to a sport to think that I'm mocking the sport. So, I think some people might take that the wrong way if they're like, oh, what's this Kafuzi Non-Elite Track Club? And they're like, oh, it's like an internet joke. Get out of here. People would not be thrilled about that. But Mile 62 Run Channel says running with like the charger and a battery pack he says that they still do that in 200-mile races. I suppose you would have to because the GPS isn't going to last long enough for that. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So when would you do that? Would you would run with it? I would think that like maybe you could just top it off while you're sitting in the aid station, but I guess you're not sitting in the aid stations that long. But for a 200-mile race, you're not taking a nap. I would take a nap. I don't know. And Teddy wants to know, how come there are still runners having strap mobiles on their arms to this day? It's definitely still a thing. There's still companies that are making, you know what the latest new thing is? It's basically like a buff that people wear on their arm. So like the phone is covered. You can't even access the phone, which I think is an improvement because those little clear windows, those are those scream early 2000s to me. Or I guess it would be more likely like 2010s, but like I just don't like those clear plastic screens. Um, but they make new ones so that like it's just wrapped in there. So it's like I mean, I guess some people like it. I don't think I've ever worn a phone on my arm. Not to say that there's anything wrong with it. If that's what you like it, great. But I don't think I've ever done that. It always just seemed like a very strange thing, especially when phones started to get big. And I was like, you're going to put what on your arm now? I don't know. Rob Shooter says, Tommy John's has underwear with a cell phone pocket. Is that for real? No way. That's crazy. Chase the Summit, what's going on? He says, in the past, I would strap my watch to my hydration vest while I charge it during ultras. Okay, yeah. I could see that. All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess you get the vest, you just put it in a pocket. The battery packs, you can get a small one, the little like tube ones that look like a battery. Yeah, I could do that. New Venture says Garmin started offering an add-on battery on their bike line, the Edge, a couple of years ago, but that's more practical than a big battery on a watch, probably. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to take the watch off because you got to get the thing underneath, you know, and some chargers are thicker than others. So, like, I don't think you could wear it. Maybe you could do it with the Polar one because that's pretty small. But that Polar one, if you like tap it the wrong way, it'll come off the charger. So, like, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, you'd have to take it off. I guess you would just strap it to the hydration vest, just like Chase the Summit was saying. Adam says, I thought the newest thing was Lycra short tights with a phone pocket. That's not new. I love those. I've been using those for like 2-3 years now. I mean, you know what? Today, I swam in my tri shorts. So they're like kind of like half tights. They're a little bit thicker than half tights. I think that the idea is to make them a little buoyant, but there's also a little, what do they call them? Chamois, a little pad for when you're on the bike. So I swam and then I was going to run right after. And then I realized that there's no pocket in the tri shorts at all. So I was like, what am I going to do with my key? I have one key, like my car key. Like, what am I going to do with that? And I was like, I guess I'm going to run holding a car key and then a selfie stick with my GoPro. But then I realized in my hurry to get out of the house is when you get to the pool on time, I forgot to bring running shoes. So I ended up coming back anyway. I still ran in the tri shorts, but like there needs to be at least a pocket for a key. Everything. I mean, I know they're tri shorts. In theory, you would have pockets elsewhere, but I needed a pocket today. I didn't have it. All right, let's do a couple more, and then I got to get going for a day. The girls, well, my nephew too. I just took them for a hike, and it was super hot, and they actually didn't complain that much. I was surprised, but now they were like super hot, and so they're like, we got to go to the pool. So I got some kids I got to take to the pool. Kyle says, if you want to run swim shorts, get some jammers. I do have jammers, which I think is a fun name for a clothing item. That doesn't have a pocket either, but they don't have a pad underneath for the bike portion. So that's why I feel like, I would like if the tri short had a little key pocket, that'd be great. But I guess I was thinking originally that I was going to bring my flip belt, but I also forgot the flip belt. So yeah. Steve said he's late today as the children wanted music on in the car rather than the live stream. Weird. Kids, what are you going to do with them, right? All right. Let's do this one as the last one for today. And Thomas Villa says, have you done any bike runs yet? I haven't. And that's the next thing I want to test with the tri shorts. But I've been the swim schedule is limited at the pool over here. It's Monday through Thursday only. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I've been trying to get out for longer trail runs. And some of those longer trail runs I have to drive to get to. So I haven't done the bike run combo yet. I don't think I have. But that'll be coming, after the steeplechase tomorrow. So after that, got a lot of other more triathlon specific, kind of combos that I need to do and try out all these different things. So we'll have to see. It's all coming. It's all coming. I've done a lot of swim runs and done some swim bikes, but not bike run, but that's coming. All right, guys. Tomorrow, no live stream because I'll be in Ames on the track. Well, hopefully I'll be done on the track by then, by normal live stream time, but I won't be anywhere where I can really do a live stream tomorrow. So no live stream tomorrow. We will have the video about swimming with these two different watches and what that's been like. And then I will see you guys. Next live stream will be Monday. So we'll do a Monday mukbang, but it's going to be a while, but there'll be videos over the weekend. So I'll see you guys. But in the meantime, till I can see you guys again live, take care, everybody. Be safe.